Hey, so recently I put together a video talking about how much I love the GFX50S2, and I do. I love the camera so much. I love the system. I love the glass. I think it's really powerful, and I think for photography right now, other than the 100S, there's nothing out there that really comes close to the fidelity and the resolution. But today I want to do something a little bit different. I want to look at the other point of view, which is that you don't need it. I argued that you should get it if it's something that you're interested in and you don't necessarily need it, but man, it's pretty nice. But I'm going to argue the different point of view, which a lot of people have mentioned that it's kind of overkill and it's not really worth it. So we're going to take a quick look here at some photos in Lightroom. And each one I've taken with kit lenses. I've tried to get the apertures as close together as possible, but obviously between medium format and a crop sensor like APS-C in the X-T3 here, and you'll see some of the metadata on the screen, there's quite a bit of a difference when it comes to depth of field and things like that. But shutter speed is going to be similar. Exposure is kind of similar. It's hard to do. Again, I didn't want to spend too much time on this. This isn't a lab test, but I want to show you some of the differences. So right off the bat, you'll notice these are both taken with kit lenses. So GF35 to 70 here, and then the 18 to 55 here. 18 to 55 is one of those kind of all-time great lenses, so pretty interesting. So first thing you'll notice is they look really similar. The color science on both, and this is just in Provia for both RAWs are imported into Lightroom, and Lightroom kind of does their Adobe color pretty basic. So you'll notice that color science is really similar. But at the outset, you can't really tell there's too much of a difference. Probably on the GFX, just on the building here on the left, you'll notice there's a bit more dynamic range, but that's debatable. So let's zoom in, let's pixel peep and see kind of what we get. So on these stucco buildings here, you'll notice there's quite a bit more detail on the left. The X-T3 just doesn't have that much detail, but it's really foliage on the X-Trans sensor, in my opinion, that has driven me to do more with my GFX. And you'll notice on the 35 to 70 for the GFX, it's not the sharpest lens in the lineup. It's still incredibly sharp, but if I shot this on my 80mm 1.7, or even I think right now I have my 30 3.5, it would be a lot sharper. But even despite that, you'll notice there's a significant difference in the foliage here. Zooming into the vehicle here, again, yes, more detail, but is that something that you're really going to notice? Even at 200%, which we're looking at it, it's still not life-changing. Let's look at another second set of images here. Again, 50S on the left, X-T3 on the right. Just at the kind of 100% here, we'll zoom out. Same photo, right? The big difference is aspect ratio. Obviously, the GFX shoots in a whole different aspect ratio natively. But again, not edited. If I edit these and push it, you'll see just how incredible the GFX sensor is, but that's not really the purposes of this video. I just wanted to show you quickly what happens if you just take a photo and see what happens when it comes out. But zooming in, pixel peeping, yeah, there's more detail on the left. Dynamic range by default is gonna be better. Even at 1/60, it's still a little blurry here. I was on a tripod for both, but it's just a resolving quality. It was very harsh sunlight on this day. Getting up into the foliage, you're going to see some depth of field here. By the way, the focus point on all of these were the same, but you're going to see the depth of field here is quite a bit different. You'll see the branches here are out of focus and these are in focus. Here it's kind of all one big mush. And again, foliage on the X-Trans sensor is definitely a challenge. If you've ever done landscape photography, you know what I'm talking about. Next little set here with some foreground. Immediately you do notice a difference here. The foreground is significantly more out of focus on the GFX over the X-T3. However, zooming in at 200%, again, there's that medium format, right? We're shooting the f5 on both of these, and yes, there's that kind of conversion factor that I didn't have the time or care to want to check out, but that's where the difference is going to be. Is that something you're really going to notice? Probably not. But looking at the chair here, it's very similar. At the outset, again, this is the argument I'm making here, it's very similar of a photo. Can I take my X-T3 or my X-H2S that I'm filming this on and go shoot photos and be happy with them? Absolutely. But when you have a GFX, you kind of walk away thinking, what would that have looked like if I shot it on my GFX? It's a GFX curse, I call it. So again, just another shot here, a little bit different. I think I was shooting this on a railing and wasn't perfectly still or in the right spot, but you could just see here You know, this is pretty sharp on the X-T3 here, except, you know, the focus missed here a little bit on the GFX, which definitely in the 50S2 it is a challenge to focus, but when it hits pretty nicely. Let's unlock this and kind of get it squared away here. You know, past some of the focal length differences, I'm shooting at 18 on the X-T3 and 35 on the GFX, and roughly that's equivalent. But you'll notice, again, at the outset, 100%, it's a similar image. Lastly, little set here. Again, foreground's more out of focus, both f5.4, f5, pretty similar. You know, if we zoom in 200% to this window here, not sure where I'm at on this one, let's see. Let's try to get it synced up, there we go. I mean, you'll see that there is a quality difference, right? But is that gonna wow people away? I don't know. So again, you know, when you look at these photos, yeah, they're great, they're amazing, but do you need this? Probably not. But you could push everything here, and I could make this look incredible. Whereas on the X-T3, I think I did auto on both of these. I mean, if I make these both edited and say similar kind of settings, let's take a look and compare those back in the library view, just for purposes of the video here. I mean, still dynamic range is much better on the GFX it's rendering right now, but yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. It is a better camera, it is better quality, but again, do you need it? It's pretty similar. It's pretty similar, but when you get an 80mm on there, when you get the 110 on there, you just get incredible results. But I'm kind of comparing kit lenses here to show you that if you're just going to shoot with the kit lens, just get an X-T3. You'll be a lot happier. If you're someone who loves to pixel peep and edit your photos, you're going to be a lot happier on the GFX if you've got the budget for it. So yeah, that's this video. Thanks for watching. Take care.